All right, chat. I figured we'd keep the green screen on with the perfect background for today, but just for this, because apparently this was an Ali project, this whole thing, and I haven't seen it, but this is called Inside CIG instead of Inside Star Citizen. So I'm not entirely sure this is what we need. I imagine this is a smoke bomb. Look over here. Don't look at the fucking obvious disaster that is going on or has gone on over the last few weeks. So we'll see, but I hear a lot of this is what we needed. It's a 35-minute video, so lock the fuck in, boys. Let's go.
Basically, what we're building with Star Citizen is freedom.
4.10, the technology
Freedom?
is brand new.
Instancing is complicated, but it doesn't mean that we shouldn't do it.
All right. Behold our transparency. Yeah, I don't know about
What
that.
makes Star Citizen a unique experience is the fact that it's vast and it's open, it's a multi-system game.
So when we're trying to have instancing come on and be this seamless experience, that is a large technological challenge to undertake.
I'm already going, who the fuck is this for?
There's a lot of changes we had to do to the engine,
Not
which
me.
affect how the content is built.
Okay, maybe me. But this feels very... For people who don't know SC right now, starting out.
And instancing creates an opportunity to tell stories and make content for a certain aspect of Star Citizen.
Instancing is the first use case of us dynamically loading up servers for the simulation, and that's the first step to the fully dynamic server meshing where...
Bro, does this guy watch my... Does he watch, like, every critique I make of him? I'm curious. Or, like, I wonder if this is me, like, egoing a little too hard. I've given him shit about his watch. Because, like, he got an Apple Watch, but he got the most expensive Apple Watch possible. And I've talked about this watch before, and I said it was very obvious because of the orange band and the face. He kept the face, but left the orange band.
To the...
No, it isn't. I guess there's a gold one, right? But this is like the Hermes Apple Watch. It's like a special Hermes only edition.
fully dynamic server meshing where that's the goal that we're moving towards.
I'm like, did you change the band because I talk shit?
In terms of how 4.10 compares to other releases, the
I think that's
learning
egoing, though.
and the understanding of how that technology will work within our universe has been the challenge.
Okay, like immediately the first minute is just wah 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 wah. None of that is relevant to me, and like I don't care.
I've always like wanted to sort of get lost in a science fiction.
August 3rd. That's another question. When, okay, August 3rd. They can make up whatever fucking date they want, obviously. What date was the live stream disaster? Does anybody know? Because this is the, like, 5th was D-Day. All right. So they might be lying here and just making up a day. Let's assume they're telling the truth. Then this is not, this was not made for the purpose of, you know, smoke bombing and going, ooh, look the other way. Or this, I think this was probably made in reaction to the community saying, we need more ISCs. What's happened here? So I'm going to approach this video from that perspective, right?
Universe, and I want it to be fully immersive, and I wanted it to always be my point of view. So basically what we're building with Star Citizen is my kind of dream sandbox freeform game. You know, there's still obviously quite a few things to be finished off, but it's complicated, especially because we're building this huge...
Because of me. Because of you, dude.
Sort of kind of connected world that has many.
It's your vision. Actually fucking tell us what it is and stop saying bullshit buzzwords. Like, literally put it on paper and stop. Like, every other game studio I've ever followed, the vision was so fucking clear of what the expectations were. This is like my I love this man. I have played all of his games. This is my critique of what Star Citizen has become. It's just not real. The whole vision thing is just utter bullshit at this point. Because unless it's like more bullet pointed of what this vision actually is, I've still really struggle when he does this.
Not just multiple servers to handle the simulation, but it also has multiple services to handle various things, like whether it's your wallet or missions also has a service, and there's a whole bunch of the economy will have a service, and so you have a lot of interconnected systems that are all sort of working together, and a lot of the times the issues that we see are because of that complexity. And the rising challenge on Star Citizen is because the game has actually become more performant and has become more stable, and it's more persistent, and more people are playing it now than have played it ever. So,
oh god, they're doing this fucking bullshit again that this guy keeps doing. Our numbers are up.
Every year we have more people join and more people play, and our concurrency gets higher and higher. And one of the things is you've just got a large group of people, and then, when some things aren't working quite as well as they are, it can get frustrating, especially when you're sort of in for a
economy service. This isn't any surprise. Economy services are the shopping service. We have it now.
Longer term, but that is absolutely something that we're very focused on fixing and improving. One of the reasons why...
Yeah, like, it's not like they're lying about these things. I'm not saying they're lying or anything. It's not that Jared's ever lied about it either, except for the last 18 months thing is utter bullshit at this point. But the whole I don't care about your numbers when the game that I'm playing is utter dog shit, and it's not fun.
We're showing sort of a little behind the curtains. Like we used to, I really felt like when we first came out in 2012, and we started the whole crowdfunding campaign, we were one of the very first people to say, hey, open development, it's not just we're going to do the crowdfunding and then close our doors and come back in X number of years when the game's finished. It's like, no, we're going to bring you along with the development. No one here enjoys the game breaking and not working. Everybody working on Star Citizen really cares about what they do, and they love what they do, and they want to make the best game possible. To build what we're doing and the tech in terms of having that seamless experience where it's all from your first person, you can walk.
You see it? Did you see it? That was the 4.11 gun. It was kind of like, The one that that launches the distortion or whatever area. I forgot what it's called.
Into a spaceship and fully interact with it properly, that has fully physicalized components, and then see a moon up in the sky and take off and fly towards it and land on it without any loading screen, and have all that level of detail and fidelity. That requires very, very, very specific and hard to write technology. It's why people haven't done it, and it takes a lot of effort.
Elliot's like, so here is where I'm going to make the mission break and nothing is going to work. And Benoit's like, okay, cool. Keep it going. Good work.
Effort and work and technical knowledge to do that. We're lucky to have a lot of incredible people on all the levels, on the creative level and the technical level, but it's still hard to do. But when it's there, it will be an experience like nothing else. I mean, I truly believe that like why people are so passionate, I mean, on both sides of the thing, right? Like it's because it does something that you don't normally get. And I also think that a lot of times people sort of forget that that's what, that, and they forget like all the things.
Anyone else have take some issue with the fact that I don't know if this is fair, but because I'm sure this is in every software dev, game dev studio, whatever, that all the execs that decide every decision are just sitting there with their feet up watching somebody else play the game.
That have happened, the advancements happen, so they're just focusing on this thing.
Oh, that was the Kraken. Can I go back? Do you guys mind?
Right now that is
I can't. It won't let me. Not with the keyboard, at least.
happen, so they're just focusing on
They're already moving landing gear and shit.
this thing right now that isn't working and they're frustrated with, which is okay. But if you step back from
That's
it all and you go,
inside the
okay, look at all
Kraken,
this
too.
stuff that's
Whoa.
been built and it all works together. For me, that's like Star Citizen would be freedom.
410 is a
So what he's trying to say is like, oh, guys, you know, stop giving us such a hard time because look at all the cool things that we've done. And like the whole thing about that is like if I was a game developer and I think, you know, the typical people that defend CIG like, you know, to no end are the people that are like software devs or interested in software dev or game devs or interested in game dev sometimes, because they'll do the whole thing where it's like, you know, look at all the cool shit that we've done. And like, it's really difficult and it's really hard. And it's just like, yeah, man, but like consumers don't give a fuck about any of that. Like, is it fun? You know?
unique challenge because it's been tied with technology and flagship content. Instancing is complicated not necessarily because we're trying to reinvent what instancing is. It's to implement instancing into the Star Citizen code base and the game that we've made. And in any large...
And that's clear, because I saw somebody earlier, it was one of my mods too, say, like, we've had instancing since the 90s. And, like, he explains, like, it's not that instancing is hard. It's hard to put it in this engine because, you know, Chris chose CryEngine.
Technological challenge. The challenge there is trying to make sure that we're covering all of the broad elements that it's exposed to. Now, and that's not even to do with the content side of things. The content side of things actually makes it simpler because we know that we can guarantee that the players are going to come in at a specific area, they're going to work through the content in a specific manner. You know, we're able to control that and provide a more cinematic, that more curated experience. But it adds significantly more challenges on the technology side, where we've got lots of different people coming into a specific area and then they're all being instanced off. So marrying those two together and then trying to deliver it to a live service
spooky.
like Star Citizen is
loud.
a significant challenge. Well, ultimately, the patch wasn't ready to go. And I think that's just, it's black and white. You know, we never want to release a patch into the wild that is in a
Is this motherfucker about to say this?
position that we think the players are not going to enjoy.
Are you Oh my God. Everyone here knows. Everyone here knows the mantra. Hold on. I think I need to like make... Oh, I'm not going to be able to, am I? No, I will. We're going to make the mantra happen, Chad. I'm just going to do it off screen. Because you guys just played it, didn't you? I don't know if YouTube will be able to hear this, but hopefully. I'll double check.
The mantra that I've always been pushing this year at the beginning of January was patch always goes.
No matter what, the patch always goes.
The challenge of instancing has been an experience for all involved.
And then he says that.
But throughout that process,
Thank
the
you,
core
Connor.
methodology has been, how do we create the best experience we can as we're developing this new technology? And that's always been the kind of like the guiding light that's seen us through. We develop an experience that we feel like would be tailored best to the instancing. And as that technology develops and as we test it, we course correct and we try and make great decisions to improve the gameplay as we go.
The teams on SC are just fundamentally super fans, right? They want it to be great. But it is a difficult project, right? Also the fact that we're shipping patches, like, starts from there, right? Like what we're in right now, every issue is rising up in priority. The turnaround time becomes hours, not weeks or sprints. That causes frustrations, but you know, this is a bit of the DNA of the project, is to build the AAA game in the open. Many other MMOs have instancing already, and this is essentially
Oh, this is Phil. We know Phil.
our take on it. To do that, we have built a reimagined version of Siege of Orison, which was designed from the ground up to be more fireteam-sized cooperative experience, narratively driven, much more curated experience than the old
It's still so big, dude.
Siege was.
So on the original Siege, it was very much an open world gameplay activity. Now this came with a lot of merits. It certainly felt like a Star Citizen experience. You could play with a lot of people, you saw a lot of other people, but it also came with a bit of chaos and a bit of unpredictability. So
Would I call Siege open world? Absolutely not.
with
It's a dungeon.
instancing,
It's a dungeon, but the cave roof is a sky.
we was allowed the opportunity to fix a few of those problems and
The
then also
original?
increase the production
No.
value and integrate
Kind of.
things that we've wanted to do in story design and mission design since the original. Even though you're in a separate instance from others, you're still in the overall game world. So what
They kind of forgot to mention why it's so hard and why it's not just incompetence. Yeah, like a little bit of this is like trying to defend. Like, I feel like CIG is just constantly reacting to the most, like the Reddit threads and stuff. But like, I don't care why it's hard. This video, I'm 8 minutes into a 35-minute video, and I don't know why I'm watching
that
this.
means is the
I don't
time
care.
of day is still the same time of day. Sometimes it might be daytime, sometimes it might be nighttime, but probably what will happen is if it starts at nighttime, it will become daytime, which is really cool because you feel that progression of time.
It's like game dev is hard is the TLDR, but it's like this weird, like weaved in ISC for Siege.
And then when you go back to the social area, there's no time switch. It's one seamless experience. And
It
I know
feels
that
like
was
an
very
informational
important
video.
from Chris from the
I don't
get-go
know.
is it is seamless. It's no trickery. You're still part of the game world, but we're just able to give you a very specific gameplay
Vodkas.
experience outside of an open
Okay.
world setting.
Sure, dude.
For me, Star Citizen should be like this wide, big open church for everyone. So it doesn't like, you don't have to be a PvP player, you don't have to be a PvE player. I mean, if you want to be mining or salvaging or ultimately farming or just hanging out, great. You should be able to do all those things and not be forced in any one thing. And there should be opportunities for players to do both those things without being forced into the other thing. So like, for instance, the instancing is a good way for someone that wants to engage in PvE content to not be forced to do PvP content. And there'll be some other areas where we'll set up that are not instance, and that will be more like, okay, that's PvP. Like, so contested zones or something would be more like, okay, there could be cool loot in here, but there may be other players that can.
This is why this man should never be allowed to speak about it. Like, oh my God, somebody needs to rein this bullshit in, because I'm just confused now, right? I'm just confused. Is anybody else confused now that is interested in PvP? Like, does PvP only happen at Hathor now? Does it only happen in CZs? Like, my question is, like, what happens in the area between a PvE zone and a PvP zone? Right? Like, what is his actual... This is why the vision, I can't stand it. Because I can't... I have no idea what the vision is when he's talking. I still can't tell. And I don't know if this is a me problem. I don't think it is in this case. And that's the thing that I've really, really struggled with is when he talks, is this. It's a you problem. What happens between PvE instances and these PvP instances that he's talking about?
Be getting in your way or
I love
or
that.
shooting
I
you
think no, it's a you problem. No, I just think you probably don't like me. But yeah, go ahead.
or fighting you or whatever. For me, there should not be a win state in Star Citizen. It really is sort of a life state, a universe that you can escape into and have as hours of fun by yourself or with your friends.
There's no win state, guys. but we continuously sell more and more powerful ships. The old ships that you used to have are not powerful anymore, but the new ones are way more powerful. But don't worry, because my vision is that there will be no win condition, even though we have placed PvP in our fucking game. Stop. I can't with you. I cannot with you. You cannot say there's no win conditions when there's fucking PvP in your game. Fucking stop, man. Every time this guy talks, I lose confidence that this game will ever be good, because it's just I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, man.
And you should be able to.
I'm so frustrated
partake
right
and
now.
absorb content at your own pace.
So
Like again, I think there's probably something there, but it's the vision might be something that's actually fun, and I think we're kind of hooked onto whatever the vision is that we see in the game. But the moment he starts talking, it just muddies everything, and I'm so confused. Like what are we doing?
every patch comes with what I'd call a live support cost. And that live support cost is
I don't know.
fixing
I was looking at that
all
too,
the
Green Lemon.
issues.
My guess is it's just some dev. Like somebody was asking, "What's that on the desk?" I'm not. It's not worth going back, but it was just like something in cellophane wrap. But I imagine it's just like a hoodie or something.
that have been introduced by adding something new.
Actually, maybe. Do you really think there's going to be a box shipped for Squadron? Maybe because of like the original Kickstarter or something.
So if you look at any piece of technology, if you took a single build from Star Citizen and you kept it in isolation and no one ever touched it, the bugs that are there would be there, but no other new bugs would exist. That's what you would have for eternity. But every time that we add something new, whether it's a new piece of content, a new feature, a new technology, it has this ripple effect across the rest of the project. And that ripple effect causes things that
Guys, I don't want to be angry. They're making me so angry.
you don't necessarily have your focus on right now that is breaks. So the challenge that we have is that the development team is focused on the new things, the new flagship content that's going into.
So this is, guys, all these bugs you're experiencing are new bugs. No, like, okay, this is exactly what I did not need to see. This is the antithesis of what I needed to hear after the siege of Orison, after D-Day, after the It's Your Show Wrap It Up Day. The words that just came out of his mouth are the exact opposite of what we needed to hear. Because everything that we were frustrated about that we saw in the Siege of Orison game dev was bugs that we have been reporting on and complaining about for literal years, that the clown developers at this company, or I don't want to say clown developers because I never want to put it on the devs, but because I really think it's a leadership problem more than anything. But the amount of developers that have just said it's the servers, and then we finally see them playing on an internal build and it's not, is so frustrating to see. And then they repeat this, oh yeah, they're just new bugs, guys. Like, guys, if we didn't work on the game, you wouldn't have all these bugs. Like, again, the statement is true. Like, every time we put new stuff in, new bugs come up, right? So there's no argument to that statement. But, like, again, this is not what I needed to hear, because we are having issues with the fact that we're experiencing the same bugs. The bugs that we've used your issue council reports for, the bugs that we've messaged developers directly, the bugs that we've made Spectrum posts about, Reddit posts about, the free QA that you've gotten for us that you are not utilizing. Now, I hope you utilize it. Again, we had an SCL Benoit with Benoit and the live service team and all this shit are going to, save us. This is the saving grace here. And it's going to take a little while for us to see the fruits of that. I heard there were like well over 400. Again, no matter what they say, if they say fixed or whatever, it's still potential fixes, right, that are going into live. I heard there's like well over 400. That's great. That's awesome. I think that's part of that initiative. But again, we'll see how many of those stuck, how many of those are actually bug fixes, and we'll figure it out. But this pissed me off.
The game, but we need to rely on the test team and the production team and the live development team to evaluate the existing content, and anything that gets broken or is degrades from the previous patch needs to.
Didn't almost none of them get fixed, actually, though? I have no idea. I imagine, more than half of those still exist because, we got to rely on the fixing team, the live experience team, and all that stuff. Their game's too big for anybody to cover all the bases.
Then be raised up.
As we start to scale test the instancing technology and the content.
Quite a few things on the list on the Comlink post they posted aren't actually fixed. Yep. Yeah, that's classic CIG.
With it, we find a lot of issues that were difficult to predict in internal testing.
I am the SC Dev QA coordinator. We provide information from players, from playing the game or testing the game, to the developers. One of the main jobs we do is that we will take that information that comes from the issue council, and then we try to add as much context onto that, as much sort of detailed debug or code-based stuff that we can then hand it over to the devs and say, hey, this is what the players are seeing, and here's hopefully everything you need.
As a production
And then potential fix goes in, we test it, it's not fixed.
team and Star System, we're quite in tune with each other, so we know what's up and what's happening on the project. Right now, we're counting around 120 bugs to be resolved before we go live. So whatever issues are outstanding with your teams that are stuck in triage, please get them moving.
The bug where the instances collapsing on themselves got reopened.
Yeah, there was 2 major events of that last night.
Yeah, there was an issue with the build that was deployed for this Mark Complete thing yesterday. Rich and Nathan worked on it together to fix it, and a new build got deployed, or made at least. Possibly not deployed, so that'll need retesting today. There's a set of bugs.
What does this guy do? I'm still trying to figure it out.
That arise from the fact that you can QT or otherwise travel to a party member who is in an instance and like in a ship.
We deny if they're in an instance, we deny your ability to QT there? Or
we're finding out.
QT them to the nearest non-instance location?
In theory, we could.
Can you QT them to the nearest can you just QT them to somewhere else that you were not trying to QT to? Have they ever done that before? Kind of.
The repro steps are mostly QT to that person because that's the easiest way to do it. The fix for preventing you from doing that final hop of QT to the party member, one of our teams in CGP, they basically wired up the fact that somebody is in an instance, they've wired that to our existing invalid target.
All right, but like, dude, I can't reload my fucking gun, and every time I use my med gun, it goes like this.
Hello. This is a player,
perspective of a
player who has a friend who's already in a Siege of Orison instance. So they zoom in on Siege, they click on their friend, they root to it, and try to initiate the quantum travel. Now, it'll tell you can't. It tells you the target's in the instance. And the behavior here, the fact that it still calibrates, the fact...
Man, the whole video really gets on my nerves. He's overreacting, contrived. Like, am I watching some kind of drama crime show? I think you're maybe listening to the music. And I think what CIG likes to do is use the music of, the upcoming patch and things like that, potentially. So you might just be hearing that, and it's giving a vibe that feels that way. I think it's just a bunch of devs saying game dev is hard. And yeah, the shaky cam effect stuff, which is odd.
That you can actually still attempt to initiate the quantum travel is
6 minutes of documentary style video to tell us a guy made an error message. I know, what the fuck.
Consistent with other with how the system works, basically, for when you have a target that's invalid. Once you get to this point, you would then need to know that you actually need to follow the mission flow to go to the correct place, to go to the elevator, to actually go into the instance.
We've got to make sure we're buttoning things down and getting things finished, right? Ensure that everything that is currently in is working as reliable as it can. Plan is to ship next week, Wednesday, if all goes well.
Right now, it's all about every day send a build out, verify performance, verify functionality, all overseeing everything from content to engineers, because there's content changes that affect the technology. And so it's just a constant terrain of verification.
Guys, the music is building. The music is building. I think something good's going to happen.
I tend, in these big features push, to just be with the backers on Spectrum to talk about, like, what their experience, so that we can prioritize directly.
Live development comes with the advantages of live feedback.
The music is building, a ship sail is coming? Okay, dude.
I read feedback. I'm on Spectrum, forums, Reddit, Discord, definitely YouTube, streaming, Twitch. I watch a lot of the feedback and I read a lot of the feedback. I absolutely leverage that feedback to help us shape the game. That's one of the advantages. We know that the players know the game better than anybody, and we want the players to give themselves.
He used to stop by here until I started talking shit.
Give us that information so that
he
we can
shape
the
does.
game. And we also have, Chris has
talk.
a strong vision for where the product's going and where the game's going. And we ultimately have to marry that together to create that best experience. And that's a unique aspect of live development.
I think what we can start with is, what would you say is the prevailing sentiment
So he used to be a streamer for the game.
in the community right now regarding 4.10?
I think there was initial cautious optimism towards it if we could fix some of the problems. Every day we look at what the top issues that came on issue council from the latest build, along with the top issues for all of the PT overall.
But also know you guys, you kind of reach out actively to some community members. You like in the Discords, you're scrolling through Reddit and whatnot.
That's where players are, right? If they're playing through a session, they're going to be in the Discord with their friends, especially for a cooperative gameplay experience like this. And so when a problem first comes up, that's where the discussion is going to happen initially. And so to get ahead of that, we kind of need to be in those locations, in addition to just watching the Twitch streamers, right? We're always watching Twitch streamers go through this content, and we'll see them hit an issue live. And we just look at, okay, overall, is this something that players are making a lot?
So the thing is you leave Discords that people are negative in, right? So you're not actually getting the community sentiment when you do that.
A lot of noise about, and then we'll bring that up as this is probably something we should fix.
Yeah, not to mention the way they moderate Spectrum, which is fucking insane. So
especially if it's new, and usually it is. If it's something that's making a lot of noise about it, it's something new. I think performance is a bit of a weak point. I'm glad to see some of the focus we got in 4.10, so I'm hoping we can kind of turn that around.
Just found out that you can't even take out your helmet for the new heavy armor.
Every day when we go through these issues, there's some kind of problem that has been identified, and when fixed, may invalidate all these bugs.
Sure.
And we have to revalidate all these bugs.
Yes.
It's very time consuming.
Sure.
Like I have this on instancing. Oh, respawn is completely broken. Oh yeah, we're gonna remove the SV. It will be fine. Wasn't fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that we're shooting silver bullets and they should be fixing everything. It's just very time consuming to revalidate all the bugs that we're seeing.
Right.
Okay, so this is a situation where I don't know what he means. What does shooting silver bullets mean in this? Because he was like, oh, we have this big issue. Somebody says, oh, all we have to do is this, and it wasn't fine. It didn't fix it. Like, fix everything? Okay. Taking out one werewolf, but not the whole pack? Got it.
Because of one or two bugs getting fixed.
It's frustrating because it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And so that's why the everyday build is the way to
magic fix.
Build, observe, discuss, prioritize, fix. And so it's a churn. It's a big churn.
I think where 410 really stands out is these engine level sort of integrations and sort of technologies that come with a lot of, you might not see anything necessarily.
Again, this whole video is like, oh my God, instancing, it's a new tech, it's really difficult, and like the same quantum travel bugs have existed forever and nobody fucking fixes them. Like, fuck off.
There really is a player, but very, very heavy testing cycle
QA guy.
on it.
At the moment, we are testing with the community and finding new issues. Our primary objective is to stabilize the technology.
What about the old issues?
Well, the big thing that we as QA always have to overcome, and can't in many cases, is dealing with what happens when you put it out in front of players, what happens when you've got it in a live environment with 600 players on a server and thousands of processes happening concurrently. And something we get by putting a lot of content onto a new technology is that we're going to test it at its limit straight out of the gate. And that's actually a really good way to offset risk. If you push that down the road, underlying problems, like deep systemic problems with the technology, are going to get worse and worse.
When it goes to the PTU, it helps us out. But again, even in the PTU, we don't usually get enough people playing it in the PTU. We don't get enough concurrency. So that's one of the challenges right now. And 410, testing Siege of Orison, is like, we need to get more and more people so we're really filling up the shards and the instances and seeing what the strain is on the system.
The data we got was pretty damning. There's a lot of issues that we've witnessed with performance, desync, and other associated problems. One very common thread was NPC desync, and in general, it seemed like a wider range of desync issues.
We need to get a lot more precise with the word desync. So you're talking about he's shooting at you,
Torsten,
but he's not aiming at you.
Yeah, like the reason I say desync is because to the naked eye, when you first look at it, it looks like it's AI desync, but obviously knowing that I'm on a 4-person server and the server was at a solid like 30 or whatever FPS, I know it can't be desync.
When are they gonna like? How many times do we have to remind them that they've literally baked desync in? Right? It's baked in, right? We've reminded them this so many times. No matter where you are in the world, you're 800 mils behind. Like, no matter what place so the enemy is always going to be looking like he's not pointing at you because they're always behind you. And then all the other, and again, the whole like, we know the server's good, so it can't be desync. There's endless desync in Arena Commander.
What we were hoping to get was clarity on what the remaining issues are, but in fact, we found a lot more, and that's concerning.
Another core component of how we made Siege differently is the AI. So in the rest of Star Citizen, the AI is populated by what we call spawn closets. So these spawn closets will populate the game based on various rule sets. With instancing, what we can do is we can place those AI logically where we'd want them to be. So an example would be part of the map will have sniper positions. Previously, this would have been...
Do you know what this kind of sounds like? I know this isn't the case, so it's not fair to this guy at all. We have not figured out how to do a spawn closet, so thank God we don't have to, and we just get to place NPCs.
Impossible, because there's no spawn closets up there. So we can tailor a more of a paced combat engagement rule set. So it's less about fighting overwhelming numbers and more about creating combat scenarios which will feel fun to play through.
Getting in this morning, I was already aware that we had some outstanding issues with Mendo Ren. He was 100% accurate, and I think that we've had a lot of frustrations with it. And so we've gone in and we've tweaked some of the values and given it to QA to do a 4-man playtest.
Why do they show Elliot when they say QA?
2-man playtest and a solo run through, trying to fight Mendo Ren.
Demoted.
Now the important thing is to get it out to players.
The big thing for us with Siege has just been the volume of testing we've had to do with it. The iteration has been really rapid from development, and these big engine changes where we may need to retest absolutely everything and just make sure nothing is worse, because actually that's going to help performance over the long run. Now, we in QA will sometimes deal with 6-7 builds a day. What that brings is fantastic iterative testing, where we're getting the latest updates from the developers. Hey, can you go check the fix for this bug right now? It's not quite worked in this way. Cool, we'll put it back in. Now, here's the new one. You know, the PTU gives us a more stable soak environment where we can leave things doing things over a longer period of time, which typically is difficult to do in QA. We have to bounce around between so many different things. Sometimes testers are moved between tasks 4 or 5 times a day to get onto the priorities.
I think what we're hoping is that what we'll deploy today will try to get more concurrency, so we can test it. Because really, originally Siege of Orison went.
No fucking way, dude. No fucking way. Did they put the ship in this patch? And they thought that the ship would give them more concurrency in Siege?
Was meant to go in 4.9, and we took it out of 4.9 because it wasn't ready. It's in 4.10, and now we're running late on 4.10. Hopefully we'll get on the PTU and get enough people play it that it seems like it's in good shape, and then we can leave it on the weekend for people to hammer on it and let it soak.
I feel confident that everyone now is on the same page of what's left to be done. So I'm quite optimistic that we will get there.
With Siege, the progression is the player's group enters that instance and they automatically become enrolled into the mission. So the mission exists inside the instance. That is a process in which we were going for. In the future, we want to do things like the player accepts a mission, and then that then permeates through into the instance layout. So that mission might then form a dungeon layout, or it might inform the enemy types inside that instance.
That's kind of cool.
So in the future, the instancing will be done in a variety of different ways. Battaglia is also a new addition for 4.10, which is really cool. She is also part of an instance. She works in the same way.
The thing is they're not oblivious to the big picture, but the fact that I am 24 minutes into this video and they have not addressed the elephant in the room, I do believe is a little problematic. Like, not even being like, we had this little hiccup on the live stream and the community pointed out lots of issues and we're trying to nail them down. Like, to not even mention it is fucked up.
That the instancing works for Siege. So you go through a elevator transition.
Do they?
Then that then separates you into your own instance. And the reason why we wanted to do this for Battaglia is, again, we wanted to deliver a more prescribed scenario so that, you know, it's not filled with loads of other people, so that as you're having that interaction with the mission giver, it is contained and it's validated. In the future, again, we'll open this up to more players, or we'd have the concept of more social instanced areas, so it doesn't feel like you're just completely separated from...
I think this video was made and set out before. No, it wasn't. It started to be made right before, possibly, D-Day, as we're calling it now. And they have every opportunity during the production of this video to talk about it.
The open world. But we made that decision for Battaglia just to prescribe that experience. And it's also kind of cool because we were
Chris Roberts is your
able
boss.
to do another mission giver again. So it's been a little while since we've been able to do a physical mission giver. So that's been awesome in terms of we've been able to tell a deeper story in Nyx. So as we've been slowly unveiling activities in Nyx, it's been very rewarding to see a deeper story arc be established and released.
One of the things that I've been looking at is the client performance. We're using our analytics that we capture and graphing that out so that we can see how performance is trending over time. We've been making steady improvements through analyzing some of the captures and actually finding areas where we're being a little bit less performant than we could be. And that's why we have this kind of gradual increase over time. We actually removed some of the sort of dev debug things that we have on in the frame that we need during development so that we can analyze memory usage, track down multi-threaded issues and stuff like that. But all of which come at cost. And one of the last things that we do—
How do you know? Is there like a thing at the end?
Before we actually release a build is to turn some of those things off. And that's why you see that big jump there. That's why we turned off a bunch of stuff that we have on during dev, and we get a big performance increase because the build is now essentially more like it would be during when it's actually deployed for post-release.
On a performance front, it was challenging, but the improvements that we've seen over time and the work that QA have put in with developers to help refine that, where we've been taking performance data every single day. So whenever they put in a new optimization, they can compare the data to the previous day and go, oh, we gained a microsecond here, or we gained 10 frames over here or whatever, and they know where to lean in and push on it.
I'm Luke Gijsbertsen.
And that's Luke.
I'm a lead environment artist here on.
So it is Luke. Why do you guys keep giving me a hard time when I say it that way?
PU team. What makes Siege very special is that we get to really curate the player experience
True,
here.
Void.
And it gives the opportunity to the environment teams to really highlight where the gameplay needs to happen, where the focus needs to go, and we really get to enhance the gameplay experience underneath it. So when it comes to optimization, it's rather complex because there's different parts of the game go either to the CPU or the GPU of the computer, and we need to make sure that we optimize that in the right way. One of the things that is very expensive to calculate on the GPU is refraction cost. So what we're trying to do is to find outliers that have these refraction issues. So what we can do is we can actually use console commands to find what is being expensive are decals. And there's no need for them to be transparent in that sense. So we can have a quick...
It's so weird. The timing of this video is so unfortunate because I think this is exactly what we needed, and they did that fucking SCL.
Quick look to kind of see what is going on. I quickly sample the material to kind of...
I think if the SCL doesn't happen, I would be totally... I would have my moments of frustration with the video, but it would be a lot less frustrating.
Figure out what is wrong. And then this should not be using forced transparency. And we have a look and we remove the forced transparency and mark it as a decal. Visually, no difference, but computing-wise, a lot cheaper.
It is not going in today. Maybe if we're lucky, we get is ongoing.
I was trying to pause here. This guy worked on Ultima Online. I met him in the Austin studio. He is so fucking nice. And a funny story about him. Look up John Erskine NHL. That's his name. He has the exact same name as an NHL player. They almost look exactly the same too. Dude, you'll be getting a permaban soon. I'm not permabanning somebody for them thinking this is a joke. I think most of us kind of agree that this is maybe, I think that's important to leave in. Like, these guys don't want to do this for us. So as somebody who gets very frustrated by these videos, none of these fucking guys want to sit in front of the camera and talk about this shit for us. And like, he did not enjoy that. You could tell. That's very uncomfortable, and he still did it anyway. So no matter how frustrated I am, I want every fucking developer, whoever comes by this stream, to understand that I am not frustrated by you. I'm not frustrated by your work. I'm frustrated by a couple of people that are in this video, and that's it.
My name is Eric Green. I'm the Director of Publishing Operations.
We know this
if
guy.
we're saying that we're going for, say, a Wednesday release, which we try to do, we like to use essentially what was this past weekend as a soak weekend. And so this...
What is this fucking shirt, dude? More espresso, less depresso.
This is kind of like our last effort and attempt that we can afford to kind of learn some of that information before it goes to live. By Tuesday evening, we can hand that off to QA. So just making sure the environment appears to be working as intended. And so we're good to go. And if everything's
He's the
good,
goat. He doesn't hide. He stops by the stream sometimes.
You know, hit the button, the magical red button somewhere that launches it, right?
Welcome back, everybody, to another sit rep. There were
He does
two
look like a
issues
wizard
really
now.
that we were trying to get fixed before we kick our release candidate.
The core game experience for 4.10, regardless of Siege, as far as I've been told and experienced, is better than 4.9 or 4.8.
Yes, across the board.
The patch notes are massive. Like, there's so many things fixed.
Top level fixes, so...
Oh my god, if the music wasn't in the background, I would cut that out and use it as a sound. The patch notes are massive. There's so many things fixed, and that we know that many of those things are not fixed is so fucking funny.
It's been a good place to be. Obviously, we want to be better than where we are, even so. Why don't we get this change resolved now? Let's get this chase this fix from Alejandro from testing, and let's pull the trigger.
You could remove the music. We'd have to bring up the volume too, but it might be worth it.
I think it's basically go time. Like, we had a very...
But just because this guy was so nervous now, I don't want to make him a forefront of anything. I don't know him. I don't know anything about him, and I don't want to make fun of him. For some reason, I got the...
Successful PTU with
I don't want to give him a hard time.
The tech seems to have stabilized. Any critical or blocking issues that we've had to this point, we're not seeing anymore. So yeah, we're ready to go. Later today, we'll press the button and it'll go live to players.
One thing that I've always said to the directors I work with or the teams, I actually had called up someone recently.
There's no way we're not getting this. There's no way we're not getting a soundbite out of
Had
this.
this conversation is I
just
try
feel
and
it.
stay in the middle. So when we have an amazing patch and people are really excited about it and having loads of fun, you know, try and stay in the middle, and vice versa. When we have a patch that doesn't do as well as we'd hoped, then again, you don't want to be in the doldrums. You need to be in the middle. You need to be pragmatic and keep moving forward, because
I think this is what happens when you moderate your forums endlessly and you hide from criticism. I feel like they don't realize like the actual state of the game.
Live development
Sometimes.
is an ongoing process. It's a continual development process that is difficult. It's a lot different challenge compared to just standard game development where you're working in isolation and then you release the game at the end. But I think the way I cope with it and the way I give the advice to the other team members is just always try and stay in the middle.
One of the things I've always been able to do in every game that I've made is when I start out to make it before everything's there, I can see the game. So that was the case when I made Wing Commander. It's been the case I've made pretty much all the games. I can see it in my mind, and then I think my talent has been able to deliver the vision I have in my mind. Sometimes it takes longer than other times, especially as things get bigger and more complicated. But the vision for Star Citizen and the immersive universe that I think it can be when it's all said and done, and we've got those rough edges, polished, and we've got the
It's the problem is it just remains in his mind.
Content that's there that will sort of put you in, and the ability for people to do all the different things they want.
Like guys, go look at the 1.0 section of the roadmap and then tell me that's Star Citizen in your mind, right? It's not. Like that vision needs to be put on paper. It needs to be extracted from his mind. Like if CR got hit by a bus today, you won't be able to finish this game because nobody knows what the fuck. I mean, actually, if CR got hit by a bus, I do not wish this on him. Please do not, turn it out to be like that. But I imagine if CR got hit by a bus, the game might actually do better because we would stop with the vision stuff. But I don't obviously want that to happen. It's just like one of those things where if he wasn't a part of the project, it's a curious question of would things get better or would they get worse instead of wishing him to get hit by a bus, right? Like that's ridiculous. But it's really just a question of would things get better or worse? And the fact that you have to question that is not a good thing. You know what I mean? The fact that that's a question that's like a legitimate question is, I think, a big part of the problem.
Want to do and do it well.
Yeah, probably better for Star Citizen, worse for Squadron 42. I think that that's probably fair.
You know, I think it'll be huge. My goal is just keep on swimming like Dory. We're just going to keep on swimming, getting out there, trying to improve, build after build. Ultimately, we're moving towards that end goal and that vision of making this incredible, immersive, seamless universe.
Finding Nemo? Oh, okay. No, I have watched it. Just haven't watched it in years. Okay, so directed by Ollie. Justin Chambers still works there? Okay. Executive producer Sandy Roberts. Okay. It's going on her IMDb. Anybody else that we know? Seb? I don't know anybody else, I don't think. Well, what is this? Lens Flare TV Limited? They literally hired a production team for this? I mean, I guess they don't have like the fancy cameras, but do they really need the fancy cameras? Maybe not. Additional internal support. Jared from Vegas. Music from Pedro, see? And then additional music. These people, by the way, I won't be able to post this react, almost certainly. These people DMCA all of us. So if you actually want creators to react to these things, take these fucking people out of here. Because they DMCA all the time. And this is just everybody else. Okay. Yeah, so I probably won't be able to post this on YouTube or whatever, but whatever, who cares? In the end, all that felt like was a smoke bomb, like look the other way, even though it doesn't seem like that was the intention of the video initially. But yeah, I didn't need that video. Like, at this point, with everything that happened, I personally did not need that video. The production was good. The shaky camera stuff was a little annoying. I think it's exactly what we've been asking for, right? Like, that's the thing, is it's exactly what we've been asking for the entire year. Maybe not exactly, in the sense of, this patch has been in the PTU the entire time, giving me just a little inside look into your process into making it happen is interesting. I don't see there being a point in doing this too often. Once a quarter, maybe, when there's like a big thing. But even then, it just seems like a waste of development funds that could be put somewhere else. I need to see the vision. This vision that Chris keeps talking about, that's what I need. I need more. What are we doing? What are we doing to make the game? Not these like one-off experiences. I don't know. I don't know. I come out here not feeling any better or worse. I just feel the same, right? So I don't know how you guys feel. Let me know. Leave a comment. Let me know. We'll talk about it. But it's so hard to follow the project without knowing the direction they're actually going in. They keep saying this like, oh, you could do anything. It's just a go do whatever you want kind of thing. And it's like, I don't really want that. I don't find that to be fun. So I think it's becoming more and more evident that, Star Citizen's probably not going to be a game for me if we continue down this direction without, I want to be able to do whatever I want. Like, I get that aspect, but I do have like specific things that I really care about. Like, I want in an MMO, I think it's like really, really important. Like, if they're going to use this MMO genre, like, this is where they are. Like, there's really, really important things that are part of MMOs, right? Like, player interaction and needing each other, meaningful PvP, Some games have meaningful PvP, right? Like those kind of things. Yeah. So I still believe that with the vision that he's already had and what they've already created, you can achieve that, right? Like I said yesterday on my stream, like I want right now I need the bare minimum. Like I need something so tiny to reinvigorate my excitement for Star Citizen, and it's just like a player market or a trade window. Because to me, that shows that they're going like, oh, here are like the glaring issues that are missing from this game that are like paramount for like an MMO experience. It may be complicated to make, right? Like I'm not saying it's easy. It's just, it's known. It is like you don't need to reinvent any of it. You don't need to recreate any of it. It already exists, and there are amazing examples of what to do. You don't need to design anything. You just need to implement it, right? Player market is blocked by base building shops. That's the biggest fucking cop-out ever. You have a TDD in Orison, in Area 18. You don't need that. That's just not the truth at all, right? So, like, for me, that would be like, oh, they recognize the issues. TDD is not seamless enough. You literally go, like, just stop. You're being fucking annoying. You're gonna get banned. But those are the, like, he's just trolling. Like, he's been here in the stream for 15 years. He's just trolling me. But you just go to a screen and scroll a list of things. Like, this is not that fucking difficult, right? That's what I need. I don't need a video like this. I don't need any of that. But anyway, I'm already late for my fleet, so I'm going to go do some siege. Hopefully, we'll see how that goes. I don't know.